Good evening, Brian. So I think I got the changes done that you wanted made. Uh, Over here in the program, you can see it only goes up to pound 6 now. You asked me to remove the where the operator had to get in and change things, so I took that out of there. I also took out the minimum grinding wheel size from there. Um, I figured that number was a pretty static number. It doesn't really change ever. But if it does a lot, let me know. I can put that value back in there if you want. Currently, it is in. It's right here, next to the tolerance that I told you about for the offset moves. So you could just change this value right here if you want it for a smaller grinding wheel size. Um, so over here on the tool tab, you can see this looks a little different. I added these fields right here, except for this one here will be different looking on yours, and I'm going to fix that. So if we go to configuration, appearance, checkbox fill color, we'll change it to what yours is supposed to be. Make sure to push apply settings and save, and then we have to stop this for a minute and then restart. This is a diagnostic box plug-in that's included with the software I was using. Let's push reset. Back over to the tools page. This is what yours will look like. Let's go ahead and load in the program. And we're going to turn the feed rate up to 100%. So over here, where you asked me to remove where the operator had to put in how many parts to run out of the program, I put it right here. You can just type in however many numbers you want and enter. It'll be there. You asked me about running continuous mode. So, and you said something about just put in a big number. Well, yeah, this will run a little better for you. This is putting in a 15 or a 16 decimal place number or a 16 digit number. So yeah, it's a big number, but this will run continuously till you stop it, and I'll show you that in a minute. You asked me about leaving the light on, the extra dress button on. Um, Excuse me for a second. You asked me about using the extra dress button, having it stay on during the whole thing. It will now. I'll show you that. This field here just shows how many extra wheel dress cycles have been selected. If we push this and we type in, we'll just say 20. You can see this changes to 20. It's just a visual number to know how many is actually there. We can turn that back off. It'll go back to 1. And I'll show you a little more about that. The minimum wheel size, I showed you that a minute ago. It's written in the program. So that's what that number is. This total parts ran. This is just a continuous counter. It will run until you reset it back to 0. So you just click on it, hit 0, and enter. As you can see, I've run quite a few cycles through here right now. So we'll just set that to 0. So what we can do here is we'll go to run. You can see we have 25 parts specified here. We're going to turn the M1 pause off. We'll go cycle start. You see it's doing a wheel dress. Part grind. This is part number 2. This is part number 3. We still have the 3 parts designated. So it's going to the wheel dress. I'm going to turn on M1 pause. And I missed it, so that's going to be part number 4. So we're on M1 pause. We can go back over to the tool page. Say, yep, I didn't need to run this many parts. We know we've already ran 4. If we wanted to, we could change this right now to 5. We'll come back over to the run page, turn M1 pause back off. And we've ran 5 parts. And we can see it down here too. I got to bring that window back up. Click OK. Reset. So that's how that works. You can change it at any time. Put whatever you want in there. So we can go to continuous mode. If we put a check mark in there, and we go to run, and we'll go to cycle start. It's doing a wheel dress. It's doing a part grind. You can see continuous mode is activated right here. There's part number 2. Part number 3. It's doing a wheel dress. It's doing part number 4. So we'll go back over here to the tool page. We can see we're on part number 5 now. And you'll notice in the total number of parts to run right here, it's just going to be all zeros. Like I said, it's got an extremely large number that it puts there. But this is definitely tell you that, yep, it's running in continuous mode. So now at any time we're on the part grind. So say we want to shut off continuous mode, we'll turn on M1 pause. The program is paused. So we can take and we'll uncheck mark this. We'll just turn this back off. We'll hit cycle start. Total number of parts complete. You can see it didn't run another part. It stopped right then. So we can click OK and reset. And you can see we're back at the top of the program. Continuous mode was deactivated and the machine was in reset. And then you'll see it reset this back to 0. Say you had your next parts coming up and there was only 20 of them that you wanted to run, but you forgot to put a value here. If we hit cycle start, total number of parts not specified, please add value to total number of parts to run per cycle, and it brings you back to this page. So if we were actually over here and you push cycle start, it brings us to this page right here. So then we can put in 24 parts. So far we've ran a total of 13 parts cycled through there. So now we will we'll turn on M1 pause. We'll go cycle start. We know we're at the pause. It says so right there. So we want to do extra wheel dress. So we'll go in here. We'll type in a good number will be 3. Tells us 3 extra wheel dress cycles selected. And it will also tell us that there's 3 right now that's going to run. So if we just turn M1 pause off, we can see that the extra address button is still lit up. We'll hit cycle start. We know it's going to go to the wheel address. Right there's the wheel address. So this is number 1, number 2, and number 3. And then it'll go to the grind. And part grind. So now we're on parts. You can see the button. We'll redo this, but you'll see the extra address button is not lit up now. We'll go to M1 pause. And it's getting ready to do the wheel address cycle, so perfect. So if we come over to tools, we can see this defaulted back to 1 after it ran the 3 extra address cycles that we had selected. So that will reset back. We'll go ahead and push extra address again, and we'll type in 2. So we got 2 extra wheel address selected. We'll leave M1 pause on this time. So we'll cycle start. We're in the wheel address. You can see the light, the button is lit up here. It's on. This will be wheel address number 2. So we'll hit cycle start. And the button. So you can see that we just completed the 2 wheel address, and now we're going to the part grind. If we push cycle start, notice the button up here. The button shuts off. I'm not sure why this doesn't always turn clear like this one. It's something with their software. Half the time it does, half the time it don't. But as long as that green line ain't on there, that means it's not active. Let's turn this off. Hit cycle start. The other thing with the extra wheel address we can do is we'll turn M1 pause back on. We can turn this on. It'll ask us for our answer 3. So it tells us that 3 extra wheel address cycles have been selected, and we also can see over here that 3 cycles have been selected. If we come back over here, which we don't have to, we can stay right on the screen. I can turn this off. When I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't mean to really do that, I can just turn it off. And it'll default back to 1. So it'll run a normal cycle. I think that's it. I think that's everything you asked me about. We did the continuous. And that stopped right away. Let's go back to run. And we're going to go cycle stop, rewind. We'll go to tools. We'll turn on continuous mode. Turn off M1 pause. Cycle start. Continuous mode activated. Go back to the tools page. We can see we have our zeros there. We can turn on our M1 pause. Take that off, cycle start, and yeah. I think that's everything you asked me to do. If you like it, let me know, and then I will get this out to you. Thanks.